Welcome back to Flight Deck Dialogues. Today, we're dissecting the dramatic near miss between Air China and SF Airlines over Russian airspace. It was July 6, 2025, early morning, and two aircraft came within just 300 feet of each other. That's less than a basketball court apart. Pretty wild, right?
Absolutely. It's hair-raising. The Air China A350 flight CA967 climbed unexpectedly into the path of an SF Express 767 cargo jet. Both were on converging routes, and for a moment we were a heartbeat away from a catastrophic collision. The quick intervention of onboard collision avoidance systems was the only thing that saved the day.
Let's set the scene further. 4 Chinese flights were being managed by Russian air traffic control, but communication errors led to confusion. How did this escalation really happen?
It started with a misheard altitude instruction. The Air China pilot thought a command meant for Hainan Airlines was for him. Because the Russian controller didn't clarify, CANine 167 climbed from 34, 100 to 36, 0 feet right into SF Express's lane. It's like being told to take the next exit on the highway, but you thought they meant you when it was for another car.
That brings us to the heart-stopping numbers. The two planes were separated by just 300, 400 feet vertically when international standards require at least 10 feet. Why is that margin so crucial?
The 10 foot buffer isn't arbitrary at jet speeds. A single second of confusion could mean disaster. At cruising speeds, planes cover over 800 feet per second. So, being only 300 feet apart is like threading a needle blindfolded. That's why these standards exist. They buy you time to react if anything goes wrong.
And with radar data confirming the proximity, this wasn't just a close call, it was almost unprecedented, right?
Exactly. In the world of aviation, such breaches are rare and usually trigger major investigations. It's a testament to both luck and technology that disaster was averted.
You mentioned technology, so let's talk about TCAS, the Traffic Collision Avoidance System. How did it prevent tragedy here?
TCAS is like a guardian angel for pilots. It acts independently from ground control, detecting conflicting flight paths and issuing automated voice commands, climb or descend. In this case, both aircraft received a resolution advisory just in time. It's as if the cockpit suddenly gets a shout from a digital backseat driver. Brake or you'll crash.
But not all aircraft have the same TCAS capabilities, right?
Correct. The Air China A350 had advanced TCAS with auto-avoidance features, while the SF 767 had a more basic system, requiring manual pilot response. This difference means every second counts, especially if one crew is less experienced or distracted.
Now let's address the elephant in the room: language barriers. The Russian controller's English was reportedly poor, and the Air China crew may have misunderstood commands. How dangerous is language confusion at 36, 0 feet?
It's a recipe for chaos. Aviation English is standardized for a reason, but regional accents, stress, and radio interference can muddy the waters. One study found that 70% of air traffic incidents involve communication errors. In this case, even a routine instruction was misdirected. Think of a game of telephone gone wrong, but with lives at stake.
And the aftermath? Pilots reportedly blamed the female Russian controller. Is scapegoating common in these incidents?
Finger-pointing happens, but responsibility is often shared. Controllers, pilots, and even training systems all play a part. It's not about blame, it's about fixing weak links before tragedy strikes.
Speaking of weak links, rumors say the Air China captain was pouring tea for a flight attendant, while the co-pilot was distracted and misheard the command. How big a role do cockpit distractions really play?
Distraction is the hidden killer in aviation. The concept of sterile cockpit prohibits non-essential activities below 0 feet, but vigilance is needed at all altitudes. A moment of inattention pouring tea or casual chat can derail situational awareness. It's like texting while driving, only at 600 miles per hour.
And isn't crew resource management, CRM, supposed to stop this?
CRM is vital. It trains crews to cross-check each other, verify instructions, and speak up about uncertainties. When it fails, that's when we see errors cascade, as happened here.
Let's zoom out to Russian air traffic control. Veteran pilot John Zhang called Russian ATC notoriously weak with outdated equipment. Is this reputation deserved?
There's some truth there. Russia's vast airspace and limited investment in ATC modernization have been critiqued for years. A 2022 report ranked Russian ATC among the least reliable in Eastern Europe, citing obsolete radars and inconsistent English proficiency. It's like using dial-up internet in a world of fiber optics.
With more Chinese flights traversing Russia, could this become a trend?
It's possible. Traffic is booming, but unless communication and technology gaps close, we'll see more near misses.
Switching gears, this incident went viral thanks to a leaked 7-minute cockpit recording. How does social media exposure impact aviation safety culture?
It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, leaks push airlines and regulators to investigate transparently. On the other, premature panic and speculation can fuel misinformation. Pilots may even hesitate to report errors, fearing public shaming. It's the modern dilemma. Accountability meets viral outrage.
And yet, public scrutiny can force improvements that behind closed doors inquiries might not. Would you agree?
Definitely. Sunlight's the best disinfectant, but only if it's used to fix, not just to scold.
Returning to language, Chinese netizens fiercely debated Air China pilots' English skills. Some claim it's a chronic issue, others say it's unfair scapegoating. What's your take?
Both sides have a point. English proficiency is mandatory for international pilots, yet regional accents, stress, and training gaps persist. But let's not forget, even native speakers can fumble under pressure. The key is regular, realistic training simulating garbled radio chatter and dense accents to build real-world resilience.
So, is more language testing the answer, or is it about better training environments?
It's both. Testing weeds out the unqualified but only immersive, scenario-based training preps crews for actual chaos in the cockpit.
Once the dust settled, both crews reportedly had to file incident reports. In modern aviation, what happens after a near miss like this?
It triggers a multi-layered investigation. Airlines, regulators, and sometimes international bodies all dig in. Data from cockpit voice recorders, radar logs, and ATC tapes are scrutinized. The goal isn't punishment, but identifying systemic failures. Sometimes it leads to new procedures or mandatory retraining.
And the public? Many called for immediate suspension of the pilots or controller. Is that productive?
Not always. Knee-jerk discipline can discourage honest error reporting. Aviation thrives on a just culture fair, not punitive, unless there's willful negligence.
So, big picture. What can the aviation world learn from this Russian near miss to keep our skies safer?
First, invest in modern ATC tech and language training. Next, reinforce CRM and the sterile cockpit rulino, more tea parties at 0 feet. Finally, empower TCAS upgrades for all aircraft. Every link in the safety chain matters, because as this incident showed, luck shouldn't be the last line of defense.
And maybe, just maybe, we all learn to double-check before making life or death decisions, whether you're 0 feet up or just crossing the street.
Amen to that. Aviation is unforgiving, but every close call is a chance to get better. Let's hope this lesson doesn't come at a higher cost next time.